In this session, we will explore how generative AI can support scientific writing. From drafting sections to improving clarity, AI tools can help you work more efficiently. But we will also discuss the ethical considerations, limitations, and best practices to ensure your work remains accurate and credible. As tempting as it is, this is what happens when you throw a prompt at ChatGPT for the first time. Prompt: write a discussion about reinforcement learning algorithms for autonomous driving. The results will be generic text that vaguely summarizes reinforcement learning concepts but contains no novel insights, no citations to recent work, and no discussion of practical challenges. If you submit that anywhere, example in this seminar, reviewers or your supervisor would likely comment on the lack of technical depth, missing references, and absence of original contributions. AI can produce readable text, but it doesn't replace critical thinking, literature grounding, or actual research expertise. Generative AI, like ChatGPT, can support your scientific writing without replacing your critical thinking. Actually, if you ask it, it recommends the following fields of support. First, research assistance. AI can help you understand complex concepts, clarify definitions, and provide explanations for key terms, making the early stages of your work smoother. Next, literature review. You can ask AI to summarize existing research or generate lists of relevant keywords, giving you a starting point for deeper exploration. Outline generation is another great use. Provide your research question and objectives, and AI can suggest a structured thesis outline. The same for getting suggestions about the title of your paper. When it comes to writing assistance, AI can help you draft sentences, paragraphs, or sections when you are stuck, providing inspirations or ways to phrase ideas clearly. For proofreading and editing, AI can check grammar, punctuation, and clarity, helping you polish your work. Here's a typical workflow you can use. Generate multiple versions of sections with different prompts. Extract useful phrases, transitions, or structural elements. Ask AI to critique its own output. What critical perspectives are missing? Request iterative improvements. Rewrite this paragraph to better connect with my theoretical framework. It's important to remember, AI-generated text must be reviewed, revised, and verified. Ensure accuracy, alignment with your academic requirements. Think of AI as a sparring partner, proving generic best practice support. However, you need to focus yourself on the original parts of your research. Sections with methodological perspectives unique to your research, subtle critique that reflects your research, personal research experience that contextualize the discussion. Arguments structured around your intellectual priorities. Used wisely, AI is a powerful assistant that can free up your energy to focus on the parts of your thesis that truly showcase your original contribution. Given the opportunities AI offers, you need to stay vigilant and avoid the following pitfalls. In the next part, I will walk you through the most frequent problems, each illustrated with real examples. I strongly encourage you to explore these cases yourself to see how they play out in practice. First is plagiarism. AI can produce texts that closely mimic human writing, including essays, articles, and reports. This makes it hard to distinguish between original work and AI-generated content, raising ethical concerns. Here, you see a documentation from several papers that claimed their autonomous research agents could generate novel ideas. But when examined closely, these so-called innovations turns out to be nothing more than paraphrased text or heavily borrowed content from existing work. Next is misinformation. AI may generate inaccurate or misleading content. References can be wrong, and tracing the source of information can be difficult, making verification a challenge. To study this, 9 students and an AI program were divided into 3 groups. One group of students wrote review articles on assigned topics. Another group used ChatGPT to generate articles on the same topics. And in the third group, each student collaborated with their own ChatGPT account to co-write an article. Articles written by ChatGPT were often smoother and easier to read than those written by students. But up to 70% of the references it cited were inaccurate, sometimes incoherently merged from multiple studies, and often completely fictitious, not to forget plagiarism. However, the study also revealed the more feedback students gave ChatGPT, the better its output became. So AI tools like ChatGPT could become valuable collaborators in academic writing rather than unreliable substitutes if handled with care. AI-generated images can be indistinguishable from originals. Even individuals with basic technical skills can manipulate images, threatening the integrity of visual data. In this example, you see older research that demonstrates how a system can synthesize a high-quality video of a person, here Barack Obama, speaking a text he never spoke with accurate lip sync. The result is photorealistic and reminds us that in the age of AI, seeing is no longer necessarily believing. Subtle alterations in AI-assisted data can compromise reproducibility and scientific progress. Distinguishing genuine results from tempered ones can be extremely challenging. This is not just theory, this is what is actually happening. Here you see a real case where AI-generated tempered imagery appeared in a peer-reviewed article and ultimately forced a formal retraction. The review paper contained figures that were almost certainly created with image generation tools like Midjourney or Stable Diffusion. The warning signs were clear. The text inside the figures was garbled and misspelled, and the illustrations themselves were anatomically incorrect. These issues were quickly flagged by the research community on platforms like X and Papier. After scrutiny, the journal confirmed the concerns, retracted the article, and published a formal retraction statement. Including AI as a co-author may increase efficiency, but it raises ethical, legal, and intellectual property questions about ownership and accountability. AI bots cannot hold copyright, cannot be sued, and should not be listed as authors. Consequently, many leading journals, including JAMA, Science, Nature, and PLOS, now have policies prohibiting AI as an author and require disclosure of AI usage. In short, while AI has tremendous potential to advance research, it also poses a real threat to the scientific integrity. Understanding and mitigating these risks is essential to safeguard credibility and ensure ethical, reproducible science. Obviously, many scientists have started using large language models in their research writing. To understand how widespread this is, you see some research here on this slide that has analyzed over 15 million biomedical abstracts from 2010 to 2024. They found that the rise of LLMs caused an abrupt increase in certain style words, suggesting that at least 13% of 2024 abstracts were processed with the LLMs. In some disciplines, countries, or journals, this reached even higher numbers beyond 40%. The research shows that the effect of LLMs on scientific writing in biomedicine has been unprecedented, even surpassing the impact of major global events like the COVID pandemic. So what does this mean for science? LLM-assisted writing offers clear benefits. It improves grammar, rhetoric, readability, and can help translate English quickly and generate summaries. But there are significant risks. LLMs are known to fabricate references, generate inaccurate summaries, and make false claims that sound convincing. While authors can catch mistakes in their own work, errors in literature reviews or discussion sections may go unnoticed. LLMs also reproduce biases and limitations from the training data and can even inadvertently plagiarize. This homogenizes scientific writing. As you see in these examples, introductions or reviews generated by LLMs often look and sound the same: awkward, superficial, and non-human. So, you need to take care. There is a growing threat from bad actors using AI and so-called paper mills to mass-produce fake scientific papers. These bogus publications undermine research that doctors, engineers, and policymakers rely on, showing progress in fields from cancer to generative AI. Fraudsters exploit the pressure to publish, generating papers on everything from obscure genes to AI in medicine. Some journals may unknowingly publish these works, and with over 6 million papers released each year, policing the literature is extremely difficult. One obvious sign is ChatGPT fingerprints. Phrases like, as an AI language model, I cannot ... appearing in text. These cases occur when AI output is copy-pasted directly into papers without editing or review, slipping past peer reviewers and editors. While some publishers allow AI-assisted writing if disclosed, the challenge is spotting when chatbots generate content outright, including fabricated data. Another key warning sign is the tortured phrase. Awkward, unnatural wording created by software that swaps common scientific terms to avoid plagiarism detection, such as recognizable proof. As you can see in this image, tools like the problematic paper screener now scans millions of papers for these tortured phrases like brain organization, sound just, creation innovation, etc. The rise of LLMs marks a profound transformation in how research is written, but it also raises serious questions about accuracy, originality, and the future integrity of scientific literature. I personally believe AI is one of the most powerful tools of our time. If you don't use it, you risk putting yourself at a disadvantage. But it's crucial to remember, AI should inspire and automate routines, but not replace your critical thinking. Generative AI can optimize literature analysis, improve clarity, and support non-native English speakers in crafting scientific texts. Yes, it has limitations, technical inaccuracies, overly standardized writing, and ethical concerns about authorship and accountability. Successful adoption requires strict human oversight to maintain academic integrity. And the landscape of AI tools goes far beyond ChatGPT. Tools like Elicit, Perplexity, and Consensus can very much enhance your literature reviews and scientific analysis. Elicit synthesizes multiple articles into precise summaries, integrates with Zotero and Mendeley, and streamlines the review process. But its results need validation for completeness. Perplexity excels at providing concise, up-to-date summaries with a user-friendly interface for navigating citations, though complex queries may require additional searching. Consensus identifies gaps in literature and provides evidence-based summaries and supports citation formatting and paraphrasing, but may have limited coverage in emerging areas. ChatGPT is excellent for drafting, synthesizing findings, and suggesting ideas, especially for introductions and summaries. However, it can produce non-existing references, so thorough review is essential. It also works well for text refinements. Regarding ethics, always check your supervisor's policy on AI use and disclose your usage as required. Used wisely, AI can significantly enhance your research workflow while keeping your research integrity intact. And finally, Grammarly enhances grammar cohesion and style with plagiarism detection in its paid version, though technical terminology sometimes requires manual correction. To wrap up, generative AI is a powerful tool for scientific writing, but it's just that, a tool. Use it to help with literature reviews, drafting, editing, and clarifying complex ideas, while keeping your critical thinking front and center. Be aware of the risk: plagiarism, misinformation, fabricated data, and homogenized writing. Watch for tortured phrases and AI fingerprints, and always maintain rigorous oversight to protect research integrity. The goal is to leverage AI for efficiency and inspiration, while focusing your energy on the parts of your work that only you can contribute. Novel insights, methodological choices, and personal research perspectives. Used wisely, AI can enhance your writing, streamline research flows, and help you communicate your ideas more clearly. The responsibility for accuracy, originality, and ethics always remains with you.